All right, it's time now for Great Day Food. The biggest game of the year for football fans is less than 2 weeks away.
And Chef Plum is now showing us a winning recipe that's sure to be a hit at your party. Hi, Chef.
Hey, guys. How are you? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Are you happy that,
listen,
are you good with who's going to the Super Bowl?
You know, listen, I'm a big football fan. My team got eliminated back in the first round of the playoffs, but I'm really, really happy to see the Rams going because I'm a giant Matt Stafford fan. He deserves to get it, so I can't wait to see if the Rams can take us all the way. So I'm excited. Yeah, I guess so. I guess I'm good.
All right, very good. All right, what do you got for us for the big game?
So I know we got a little time before the Super Bowl starts, right? We got a little time, but I want to make sure that we start planning that menu ahead of time. I want to make sure you can, get that touchdown right away and not have your friends throw that penalty flag on you right off the bat because we want to have great food. Because great food is how we plan on winning the game. And the best way to do that, let's start with a great cheese dip, all right? Something, can you see that? Look how pretty, can you see my overhead camera? You see how pretty, look how pretty that is, right? You see that? Right there?
That
gorgeous. That's what I'm talking about, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
This is one of those things that we can make. Where's my camera? I'm so terrible at this part. There we go. Look how beautiful that is, right? I mean, that right there. I mean, that's better than a field goal. That is 100% a touchdown. You got to make this. Let me show you how to do it. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get my burner going right here.
We're doing sound effects every time you have a football pun. Just.
They wanted me to have as many football references as I could get in there. So I'm going to take a pan right here. I'm going to start getting it hot. I'm going to add just a few drops of olive oil to it. And then I'm going to add a little piece of butter, just, a little thin slice of butter or something like this. You put on some bread or something right in there, right? Just to make sure that pan is nice and lubricated. Very, very important. Melt that butter down. Now, this dip we're going to make, not necessarily a queso fundido. That just basically means melted cheese. That's not what this is. This is basically a cheese dip that we're going to make. So we're going to use a little bit of beer. We're going to use a little bit of cheese, some onions. So now I'm going to melt it down. And I'm going to put some of this onion. I got about half a cup of onion in there. This is just diced onion. And then I'm going to take some garlic here on my microplane and just put that guy in there just like this. One clove of garlic is all you need. You don't want to do overkill here, but anything delicious starts with onions and garlic. Everything does. If you want something delicious, it's probably started with onions and garlic. Get that in there. And now we're not going to cook this down like brown and super cooked. We just want a little translucent, about 30 seconds, 20 seconds, something like that, depending on how hot your pan is. Get this in here just like this. There we go. Listen, I want this dish to come at your friends like a Bengal tiger. Like just rah! I want everybody to be excited about it. It's so delicious. So I've got this in there. Then I'm going to take a little bit of beer. Now, if you don't want to use beer, you could use a little water, a little chicken stock. I'm going to use about half a cup of beer. Not much at all, just a little bit. And what that's going to do is start to deglaze the bottom of that pan. We've talked about deglazing before. It takes that flavor off the bottom of the pan. And then I like these little Rotel cans of tomatoes and diced chilies in there. I like to use some of this. So I'm going to use half a can of this in here and just put that in there. We're just going to warm these guys up. And we're already almost there. And like I said, this dish here, what's so great about it is if you're trying to get that first down, all you got to do is start with this. It's so easy to make, right? We're already almost there. You can add other things to this if you wanted to. If you want to get crazy, put some sausage in there, some chorizo, anything like that, you definitely could. It's going to add a lot of flavor. So I've got a little chili powder here too. I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons of chili powder just for a little extra flavor. Mix that up in there. And you can see I'm not cooking this to death. Like this is nice and hot, but it's not going to, a whole rolling boil or anything like that. Let me give you a close up so you can check that out. Right? We're not going to crazy with it. And now what I want to do here is one of my favorite cheeses to use. I like to reach in and grab a little bit of this cream cheese here. And this is about 4 ounces or so I'm going to put in here, or half of this container. This kind of gives us a nice base to start with, which is what we're looking for here. I always want to tell you, whenever you're using cream cheese like this in the dish, start mixing it first with a spatula. Don't go right in there with that whisk because it'll spray everywhere. It'll spatter all over the place. We don't want that. Okay. So here we go. Scott, this doesn't look too hard, does it?
No, not at all.
No.
All right, here we go. We're just going to mix that in. That's the thing. I'm trying to make things I know that you guys can make. That's what I'm looking for. All these years, I'm trying to make everybody happy. So there we go. A nice mix in there like this. And then what I like to do is, and you might have noticed, I haven't put a ton of salt in this yet. Reason why, because we're going to use chips, and chips are salty, so I don't want to put a ton in there. So now I'm going to add, this is just some mixed cheddar. I'm going to put in there about half a bag, 4 ounces again. So 4 ounces of cream cheese, 4 ounces of mixed cheddar, on some of those tomatoes, a little onion, a little garlic, a little chili powder, and we started the whole thing with a pinch of butter and a few drops of olive oil. There we go. Look at this. Let me just get this mixed in. It melts so quickly. If you want to do this with some ground beef or some sausage to start, when you're doing those onions and garlic, cook that sausage or ground beef in there. Then that works great too. If you want to use beans, you can throw the beans in right now. Either way, check this out. Look how creamy and delicious and beautiful that is. Can you guys see that?
Awesome.
Look at this.
Nice.
Oh, yummy.
Let me show you how we're gonna plate this up. This is incredibly easy. I'm gonna put this over here in my stove, got a little bowl, and then what I do is I just pour a little bit into my bowl like this. It smells so delicious too. That beer and those onions, they are best friends. We're gonna put this here on the plate. We'll take some Tostitos. And you can use bread, you can use vegetables here, you can use whatever you want. Either one, there's no right or wrong answer here. You're just making a great dip for the Super Bowl here. I'll tell you what, when you go into the big game, you want to have great food. It's what's important. You're trying to take home that trophy. This is how you do it, my friends. I take a few little leaves of cilantro to kind of finish it off like that. I know your producer, Jamie, she's a massive cilantro fan, so I got to make sure I get that on there for her. A little crushed red pepper, and check that out. How about that?
Oh, yum.
That is beautiful.
I bet you it's
How quick and
delicious
easy was that,
warm,
right?
too.
That
Super,
is
super
first and
easy.
goal. Thank you, Chef. Thank you. All right,
You guys
we
are
appreciate it. Have
welcome.
a great day.
Thanks, Chef.
All right, still ahead. It's winter, and that means drier everything. But
but
you don't have to suffer from dry eyes.
Yeah, we're going to take you to a place that has some treatments that could really help you. Great Day, Connecticut. We'll be right back.